let me go ahead and go to my channel here. Go to live. Click on this. Let me see if I can. There we go. All right. And there we have it. All right, let me mute. And there we go. Okay. So, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to just real quick pop this up. That way I can see the chat. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing well. I'm going to go ahead and do some work here to get my layout all set up for the op session here. So after the poll, both on my channel and in the live chat for Model Train People's Train-A-Thon event, which is currently going on. Oh, it is still morning. Correct. Good morning. After my poll, both on my community tab and in the chat for Model Train People's Train-A-Thon, which is currently going on and this stream is a part of, we decided the locomotive power for this op session is going to be the B30-7 in the Balfour and Clutha Creek Southern Scheme. So we'll go ahead and start getting that train set up. Let me just position myself here and flip the camera so you can see the layout and get it all set up and there. Okay, so I go ahead and real quick pull this over here, like a full screen. Now what I can do is start building the train. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. So we're going to start with the caboose. We have my B&CCS bay window caboose right here. And we'll go ahead and start off with that. So that's going to be the rear of the train, C224. So we'll go ahead and get that on here. Whoa. And we'll send that all the way down to the end. As you can see here, down at this end of the layout, we've got some new scenery going. Got a few more trees in, got some more bushes. I got the concrete pad started for the lumberyard. So we're going to set the caboose right there. Move on to the next car is going to be a rail box. We've got this rail box, RBOX 17715. Ooh, there it is. So that's going to be our next car on the train. This is a KB model, older model, but very, very nice. Oh, that's awful. I need to replace these wheel sets. I'm just gonna do that right now because I cannot hear that grinding of wheels like that. It's just, I can't do that. So let me real quick swap those wheel sets with some for my little baggie here, and keep chatting while I do so. Yeah, like I said when I first started up the stream, all my streams today, I'm going to be doing this one here. I'm going to be doing a weathering one in a bit. And I'm going to be doing one more, or not in a bit, in a few hours, this afternoon. I'll be doing one. And then I'm going to be doing a, probably one more op session stream this evening / tonight. And all of these are for the Model Train People Train-A-Thon. which is a 24-hour live stream event that is currently ongoing on youtube.com/@modeltrainpeople, like the @ symbol and then model train people. And that is an event that is basically a fundraiser to help raise some money to help my cousin's daughter, who has recently been orphaned, to have a little money started in a college fund. And so all the proceeds from the event are going to go to a 529 plan. If you are watching this on the Model Train People stream, the QR code in the corner will bring you right to the GoFundMe page. If you're watching this on my channel, I will, once I get this all set up, I'll pop over to my computer real quick and go into the live chat and paste a link to the GoFundMe. Actually, I probably can do that on my phone in just a moment here. But yeah, so all the proceeds from that GoFundMe will go to Novelius Guy's GoFundMe, or excuse me, 529 IRS plan, and it will receive, it'll go through and get some interest built on it over the next 18 or so years until Novelia is ready to use it. And hopefully that'll give her a good head start on working her way towards being able to go to college when she's ready for that. So, there we go. Much better. Let's see. Ah, beautiful. Low profile wheel sets. Very nice. There we go. There's the rail box. Okay. Next up on the list here is going to be my DHNY boxcar. So let me go ahead and grab that. Here's the I Love New York, Delaware and Hudson / New York State boxcar. This is an Intermountain model. It's a nice looking boxcar, nice scheme, one that I really enjoy. So I picked it up. So that'll be next on the train. Go ahead and rail that on. Roll that down to the end where it can couple up to the train. Next is going to be my Erie Railroad flat car, which is in the box still. Let me open my box up and take that out. Let's see, there it is. Grab that. A nice KD Microtrains flat car. So that's going to go right here. Does this have this doesn't have the right wheel sets either? Are you kidding me? I thought for sure I had upgraded these ones. Alright, well, let me swap these wheel sets too while I keep chatting. If you go to the Model Train People stream, over the course of the day, you're going to see a number of content creators, myself included, who are going to be on there. But before I started up the stream on my own channel, I went ahead and did all the behind-the-scenes setup work for this op session on that channel there, on that live stream, since I'm basically running the stream as well as participating in the event. So, I was able to pop on there, show my setup, and then pop open my full live stream, because I can't do the stream both from my computer and from I can't stream from my computer for my own stream due to, one, not the camera, my webcam is not HD enough to really be able to pick up all the detail of my layout. But two, I'm currently streaming the main event from my laptop, my computer. So if I were to try and stream my own, I don't think that would work. I can only do one stream at a time from my computer. So that's what we're working with. So let me finish getting these wheel sets on. I don't know how I never noticed that these are the wrong wheel sets, but no time is better than the present to swap them out. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop that in there. Nope, don't do that. Come here. No, we'll sit down. Where did it go? It's gone forever. Let me see if I can find that real quick. If not, oh, there it is. That's why I figured. Let me just take a quick look, because if I found it, since I found it, I don't have to take another one out of the bag. Otherwise, I would have needed to take another one out of the bag, and I could have dropped that one. And for long, I'd have all the wheel sets on the floor. So we're going to try to not do that. Also, if you hear me sniffling just a little bit, my apologies. I am just a little bit under the weather. I have a light cold. So if you hear me sniffling just a little or coughing just a little, that's what's going on with me. But we are just about done fixing the wheel sets on this car. There we go. Let's get that up there. These decks on these cars, I really love fun weathering. The deck on this flat and the D&H flat over here, the New York Central flat that I a lot of times will run. Those were a lot of fun to weather. Let me throw that turnout. Alright, got those. Then I need Bang & Olufsen. Bang & Olufsen boxcar, which I know is in here. There it is. This is a lifelike model from, I don't even know, probably the 70s, probably the 80s or 90s. There it is. Nice model. Appreciate the detail on that. Let's get that on the tracks. Go. And then I believe I need one more car. Correction, two more cars. I need both covered hoppers. That's right. So the two covered hoppers are 884 666s. 884 666s, and that's going to be a Broadway limited car that I still have to weather. And I'll probably do a few streams. It's probably not today, but at some point in the future, going through and weathering these four Broadway limited cars. So there is 884 666. Get that on the rails. And then we will wrap up the train with chassis system, covered hopper, Western Maryland, 60, 49, 79. And then last, but certainly not least, will be the motive power itself. So this is going to be actually one of the longer trains that I've ever had set up on the layout here. So that'll be fun. But But yeah, let me. Excuse me for blowing my nose just here for a moment. While I'm actually doing this, let me take the opportunity to go ahead into my chat and post the link to the GoFundMe page. Copy link address. Here. Switch accounts to me. That's not what I wanted. What it is. That. And then I can go ahead and pin that. And there we go. Perfect. Now we got that all set up. So that link that I just pinned in the comments on my own video, on my own stream, that here is the fundraiser link to to help support Novalia. So no help is really expected, but all help is greatly appreciated in helping us to raise some funds for Novalia. So if you have a couple dollars that you could spare right now, we greatly appreciate that. Both myself and my whole family. So consider giving us giving it a thought to donating to the event today. Or if you don't have any real money that you can spare at the moment, that is perfectly fine as well. You can support in other ways. You could do anything from share a link to the event to just hang out and participate and boost the engagement of the event. That way more people maybe see it. But anything you can do to help, we greatly appreciate. All right, let me just clean up my little work desk here. I'm gonna go ahead and print out my switch list. Real quick. And then this will take me only a minute to grab it. And while it's printing, I'll run and, I won't run. I'll go ahead and set up the locomotive itself. Just print. Okay. Let me go ahead and set up my B&CCS system. Get that all up and running. Because the last session that I ran, I was running a DC only session. Now we'll run DCC. Unfortunately, no sound. My Dash 8 does not have sound. As cool as that would be. Or my Dash 7 does not have sound. One of my Dash 8s has sound, the Conrail one. But not Dash 7. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and set up B&CCS B30-7, number 501. And this is an Atlas model. And I put, I believe, an NCE decoder in, if I'm remembering correctly. And there she is. So I'm going to go ahead, pop you on the rails. here's my switch list. All printed nice. And from here we can go ahead and begin our up session. We finished just clearing off a couple things here. And we'll load a couple things onto the flat car here. So it's not just coming in empty. And let's acquire my locomotive, 501, and begin. Couple that to the train. Let me uncouple the caboose at the entrance to town. And let's begin. So first step here is to pull the train into, oh, what's going on? Thank you. Pull the train into my runaround track. So there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse it back, and I will drop off the rail box right here, because from right here I can get onto the rear end of the rail box, which is where I need to be to drop it off, or get the rail box onto the rear end of my locomotive in any case. And that allows me to have enough space on the runaround to drop my train, which is an important part of the process. Okay, there we go. And why are you stalling out? There we go. Alright, so we're going to run down here, pick up this rail box, reverse directions, come up here. Stop there. Okay, so I need to clear these two cars because over here is the lumber yard. So I need to clear those cars out of the way. Let me actually reposition my camera, that way it's a little easier for you to see what's happening. Which means I need to move all this stuff out of the way real quick. So this will take me just a mo. Just a mo. Take this stuff, put it right here. And I can set up the camera right here. Carefully and slowly, so as not to give too much motion sickness. There we go. Let me blow my nose one more time. And then we'll get to work for real this time. Okay. So we're gonna reverse back here. I believe my dash 7 might need some wheels cleaned. Did I throw that switch? Sure didn't. There we go. Alright, so we're going to pick up these two cars here, get them out of the way, so we can get down to the lumberyard. Okay, now let me uncouple those. There we go. All right, and I'll continue forward. All right, turn around. Head back down the spur. And then we gotta pick up that New Haven box. And turn around. Let's bring that New Haven box car out of here. Okay. Drop this back off here as well. Okay, turn around. Uncouple this. And then just a bamboo skewer you can get at any grocery store. That's what I'm using as my uncoupler here at N scale. It's really all you need. Throw the switch and reverse back. And then we'll drop off the rail box right here. Now we will go ahead and pick up all of these again. And run forward here. To right about there. Throw in reverse. Not quite sure what was stuck there. Something got stuck. That's okay. All right, stop that right there. Cut these two, because those are staying here at the industry they're spotted at. They're not getting picked up. And we'll continue on. Go. Okay. Now we'll run around the train. Okay, I'll be sure to speak up there, Don. Sorry about that. It's probably exactly the same on both streams if I had to guess. But I'm glad the camera is good. I'll be sure to speak up, though, that way you can hear me. Sometimes I just get to muttering to myself. Okay, so our move here, let me bring up my paperwork on the stream. Move 1 with the rail box swapped to the New Haven, that's complete. So I can check that off. Next, all right, we don't have to switch the depot. We've moved all the cars that were spotted there. So next up, we're going to the loading docks, which is, where's my camera? This industry over here, the very backmost industry that has the New Haven boxcar and the rail box. And we are dropping off the rear 2 cars on the train, the DHNY and the Erie flat, and we are picking up the D&H flat. And I think while I'm making that move, well, I don't know if I have space to do that. Okay. What I'll do is I'll make that move, and then while I still have the D&H flat car attached to the front of my locomotive, I'll pick up the Bangor and Aroostook boxcar right here, and I will swap that with the B&O box at the Canning Company. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's my my course of action. So I will make sure that's switched, make sure that's switched, make sure that's switched. That way I have plenty of space. I'm going to shove back to there. Okay, reverse direction. I'm going to go ahead and uncouple my train there. Pull forward. Make sure I have plenty of space to run around. Alright, run around the train. Get this flashlight out of the way. Throw that switch so I can run down. Right. I'm going to run up, grab these 2 cars that I need. Okay, reverse directions. Let me cut couplers right here. Run back. Okay, throw that switch. Throw this switch up to this industry. Let me make sure. I really need to get more of these switch levers, these switch stands from Caboose Industries. They're great. For all the ones that I don't have switch stands for, as you can see here, they are just basically push pins that are holding the Code 55 switches in place, because Atlas Code 55 switches, unfortunately, don't have a locking mechanism. They're excellent. They look great. They run great, as long as you actually get them down right. But it's just they don't have a mechanism to lock them in place once, so they just easily slide back and forth unless you pin them down. So I have to have these push pins that hold the switches in place, and then over years and years of running this layout, probably 5 or 6 years now, running this layout, the push pins have eaten away all the cork and the foam underneath where I have to push the pin in, and so it becomes very hard to keep the switch in place. Hey, what's up, Tim? And what's up, Ditch? Thanks for hopping in. I'm glad you guys are here. Welcome to the stream. We're streaming live here for the Model Train People Train-A-Thon. That's the one, which is a benefit stream for my cousin's daughter, who has been recently orphaned. So we're trying to raise some money for her to get her a college fund going. So I'm doing some switching ops here on my B&CCS layout to have some content for the stream. All right, so let me go ahead and just temporarily drop this D&H flat over here. That way I can spot the 2 cars where they're supposed to go, the ones that I'm dropping off. So I'm going to go ahead, uncouple that, reverse those back. I can turn on inertia I can turn on momentum on this locomotive. But for something like this where the track work isn't the greatest, it can cause some problems. For those of you on my stream, I am talking both to you all in the chat as well as people in the chat for the Model Train People stream, because my stream's being rebroadcast over to their channel. So if you hear me talking about something that's not in our chat, it might be over there. This is what I'm talking about with not having the switch be able to be held in the right position. It's very annoying. But let's go ahead and carefully slot those in. But yes, to answer your question, Lily, and to Don's response there, I have the ability to turn on and off momentum on my controller with this button right here. It's very simple, very easy to do. So if I want, I could do momentum, I don't know, 2. And then when I go ahead and uncouple this and run the train back, it will, well, you see it'll stop right there because it's got some slight electrical issues on this layout, but it'll pick up speed like that, and then it'll take some time to slow down. If I had better, more electrically sound track work, I would probably use momentum a lot more. But because I really like how it makes you have to think ahead to your moves. But with my electrical situation being what it is, which is not great, it does cause some issues in just having the train stall out from time to time. Which in that case, it's just really an annoyance at that point. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that varies, Lily, from controller to controller. I have the NCE power cab, and that allows you to just directly control momentum from right here on the controller. For some decoders, it might be a built-in thing versus like a purely built-in thing versus a changeable on-the-fly thing. I'm not sure, but. For NCE, at least for the system, the whole system, that's how you can change momentum on the fly. It makes it very easy. But now that you got me with momentum turned on, I'm not turning it off. So I hope you enjoy me struggling to try and account for the momentum. There we go. All right, and continuing on. Let's pull back. Why are you derailed? No, you just have slightly taller flanges than you really should. But I'm not going to swap you at the moment. All right, so switch back to our paperwork here. Show what I'm doing. Honestly, Ditch, I would really love to have a proto throttle. Proto throttle is really, really cool. It's unfortunately also very expensive, and it's a whole learning curve because you got to set up CVs and stuff to make it work properly. But it would be really cool to have, and that would be ideal, especially for a small switching layout like this, or something what I want in the future. I would love to have a proto throttle. That thing is so cool. Yeah, I know, Lily, I know momentum is built in, like, in the controller, but I believe what it is this, in the NCE system, the momentum button changes that CV on the fly, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think technically both of us are correct. But, yeah, I would love to have a proto throttle. Anyways, back to our paperwork here. So, loading docks job is done. We have set out the D&H boxcar, the Erie flat car, and we have picked up the D&H flat car. That's all from track 2. And then what I just did was pulled out the Bangor and Aroostook boxcar 9125. I believe that's what this is, right? Yep, 9125. Which is that red, white, and blue car. And we're going to swap it for the B&O, excuse me, B&O wagon top, which is right there, right at the end of its lifespan. So we're going to go ahead and swap those on track 2 of the Cannon Company. And then we will move on down to operations here at the cement company. Lily, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the Proto Throttle or my NCE Power Cab? It's the thing that I really like about the Proto Throttle is it's, you know, it is pretty small, but it's basically meant to be a handheld controller still that emulates an EMD control stand. So it's supposed to look like the control stand off of like an SD40-2 or a GP40 or, you know, that kind of second generation EMD locomotive. Okay, back to work. Do this here, and to track 2. So let me switch my pin here. Put my throttle down for a second so I can pin that down. There we go. Yeah, the Proto Throttle is it's still meant for model railroading, so it's still got to be handheld, Lily. But it also has, like, basically it is permanently momentum. So kind of what you're talking about. You permanently have momentum built in. You permanently you have to think in notches 1 through 8. You don't think in speed steps. You think in, okay, I'm in notch 2 right now. I'm in notch 3 right now, just like a standard locomotive is in real life. So it's a really neat thing that I would love to get the ability to use someday. But you have to set up all the CVs in your locomotive to be able to configure with the Proto Throttle. So it's a process. All right, let's take this B&O wagon top. I'm going to temporarily drop it on track 1 for the industry. Oh, or I'm just going to smack it with my thumb. Throw this there. Go ahead and pin this down like so. Nope, I said pin this down. Like so. There we go. Right? Let's shove forward, drop off the wagon top right just clear of the turnout. Like that. That is really neat, Lily. But for something like a model railroad, it's really not portable, which is what the Proto Throttle has going for it. It's still a handheld, you know, pretty, you know, what a model railroader is familiar with, which is the ability to control your locomotive from your hand. But operationally, it works like, you know, like a full cab desk or like a rail driver for a sim. It's really neat, and everyone that I've heard talk about it has said once they started using the Proto Throttle for switching and stuff like that, they just can't go back. Like, well, they can go back, but they don't want to. You know, everything I've heard about it is just really cool. So. Right. We're going to go ahead and uncouple that. But as far as more conventional, you know, cabs and throttles go, I really like the NCE Power Cab. It's what I started with, but I think NCE. This is my personal opinion now. I don't have anything against using Digitrax throttles or anything like that. In fact, I have a Digitrax throttle that I use pretty frequently at my clubs and stuff. But I think the NCE system is just a lot more intuitive than the Digitrax one, in my own personal experience and opinion. It's just easier for me to figure out what I'm doing. Everything is kind of labeled a little more clearly, and I don't know. It may just be that's because that's what I started with. I'm more used to it, but I've always found NCE to be a little more intuitive than Digitrax. So that's my beliefs. That's my my stand on DCC cabs. And there we go. Alright, actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove the whole cut of cars down clear of this switch at the end of the runaround. Cut off this New Haven boxcar. Reverse the whole train back into the runaround. Okay. Cut the locomotive off. I'm gonna basically run this boxcar around the whole train. That way I can get at the covered hoppers from the right end. Fair enough, Tim. Fair enough. That, I mean, if you like that, Ben, go for it. It's I mean, it's a fine system, and it works well. It's easy to set up from what I understand, and it's it's a very widely used system, but it's just I prefer the NC. I think it's just little nicer. Little. Oh, that darn momentum got me again. All right, reverse back. But yeah, I mean, that's why I started using NCE is because that's what my parents got me when I first started getting into DCC. They got me just a, starter set for. And by starter set, I mean they got me the little PCB and the cab and the wires and everything to use NCE, and that's what I started with. And that might be why I like it more, because I'm more familiar with it and I've used it much more. But I don't know. That's just what I know, and that's what I like. We're gonna shove down here so I can get at these two covered hoppers from this end. Okay, reverse out of there. Now you can see that B&O wagon top a little better now that it's dug out from behind all the other cars. I really beat that thing up because, I mean, in reality, the wagon tops were adjusted in like maintenance away service by the 60s, late 60s, late 60s, early 70s, but I think they're neat cars, so I wanted to have one. So I have, it's right at the very end of its service life in the mid 70s, so I can run it. It's basically, that's where we're at as far as why I have a wagon top in the 1970s. Oh boy, I just ran the switch. Alright, There we go. Now we're going to reverse down here, and we're going to do a fun little strip swap on my cement industry. And this is something I I saw at Drew James's Canada Spokane and Pacific. At his on his layout, it was not a cement industry; it was a granary. But I like the concept, and since I have 2 tracks and don't have space for a full industry, it's a lot easier for me to do it here, or it's just as easy for me to do here. So basically what I'm going to do, and I've arrayed this out in my little notes thing here, on this line right here, for Hudson Cement Company, incoming loaded cars should be spotted on track 1. Track 1. Cars currently spotted on track 1 should be repositioned to track 2. Track 2, which is under the unloading shed. And the empty cars that are on track 2 are then to be picked up. So basically the cars that came in on my train are going to be spotted here. These cars are going to be respotted here. And these cars are going to go out on the train that's leaving town. And that is the fun little swip swap that I've added to make ops a little bit more interesting for this layout. Because it's, sometimes it's a little boring just swapping 1 for 1. And while this technically is a 1-for-1 swap, it adds a little operational interest to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the empty cars first. What? Oh. Okay. Not quite sure why that got stuck. I'm going to pick up those empties, and I'm going to spot them out on the main. The other thing I do to add interest to my ops is I try and keep the main clear unless I'm actively doing switching. So, clear. Because in theory, this is just a main line through the town, and I'm doing switching off the main at the industries in town. In theory, a train could come by at any time. Of course, I have my caboose spotted at the end of town. I don't know, we'll say the west end of town. Sure, why not? So in theory, that's flagging any incoming trains to stop before it reaches. But I also like to just add that extra challenge for myself to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, let's reverse. Oops. Back on out of here. Right. Throw this turnout again. There we go. And now we're going to shove down. I'm going to throw this turnout while the train is moving. There you go. And we'll pick up the 2 loads that are spotted on track 1. There we go. We're going to go ahead and swap those for cars that I have brought in on the train. Putting these right here on the unloading track. Okay, good enough. Let me uncouple. There we go. All right. Oh, no, not quite. There we go. Now it's good. Right, pull that back. A little further. All right, let me swap end for end. And finish up this set of moves. Pardon me. Come on. There we go. All right, and now we'll reverse on out. Pick up these two. Let it stay. There we go. Okay, make sure that gets coupled. And reverse back to clear the runaround track. The problem with joining the Army is that I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I guess it doesn't fully exclude me, but it makes things a little difficult for the Army to take me. So that's that problem there. Not to mention the fact that I'm not really interested in a military career. I just finished school as studying architecture, and really that's what I want to do is be a practicing architect and design residences for people to live in. But thanks for the offer, though, Ditch. All right, let's pick up the caboose. Go on the rear end of the train. Nope. Couple, please. Thank you. Nope. Couple, please. Come on. Thank you. There we go. Grab the caboose. Yeah, I think well, I mean, we're gonna see once I find a job, but that's kind of been my plan for a number of years now. That's kind of been where my life's been pointing to, and where I've really wanted to go. So. Lily. All right, let's get that coupled there. All right, let me just shove a little more. Right. Let's throw the train into reverse. Ooh, little tap. No, nothing ever came of a little love tap, right? And then we'll couple onto the head of the train, and we are ready to return to whence we came, if the locomotive will ever decide to run. There we go. go. And there we go. Job complete. Well, if it ever decides to actually run. There we go. Thank you. And the train is now leaving the town of Balfour, and it's heading out to presumably back to the rail yard. Since on the rail map, or the rail map, not the real map. Town of Balfour doesn't exist on the rail map, but on the map of my railroad, Balfour is a town right near Maybrook, New York, which is the big terminus of the railroad. So that completes my switching job here. As you can see, we have completed all the jobs. We set out the Bangor and Roostick, picked up the B&O, set out these two, picked up these two. So there is the switching job complete. I'll give you a quick view of the train. There is B&CCS 501, a GE B30-7, which I custom painted, lettered, weathered, etc. We've got D&H, 12078, which is a 2-bay covered hopper. Conrail 885550, which is a H32 covered hopper. Both of those in cement service. We've got New Haven 32120, which is a 40-foot box car that I weathered. D&H, 16509, which is a flat car I custom weathered and added that little ACI label to. B&O 385006, which is that wagon top I was talking about that I really just kind of beat the heck out of. And that was a kit that I built, actually, which was a lot of fun. And letter. Last but not least, the caboose, C224, as shown earlier. So I'm going to take a quick break here, and then I'll come back on here again. And I will maybe do a little bit of scenery work here until Lily is ready to show us what she's been working on. So I'll hop off here, and then I will see you guys in a bit.